What is going on, my crew? This is Rusty, and welcome to another episode of Rusty Builds. In today's episode, very excited because, as you guys can see off camera, I built a little bit on the base and wanted to show you guys around. And I gotta say, I just went through editing most of the first episode of the second season and quite a bit of the other episodes. Could have sworn I saw a creeper for a second. Quite a bit of some of the episodes for the other series that I've got going on. And like I said, I'm pretty impressed with how some of the stuff is going. Quality is pretty good as far as like recording wise, and no more echo and all of that stuff. But not only that, but this video recording software seems to be doing a lot better than the video recording software that I had done in the past. So, excited about that. Wanted to show you guys the base really quick. I'm using this as the main source of light, and I'd actually like to go all the way around this area, if possible. And then use this as the base's center, and then maybe even dig all the way up to the surface. That'd be pretty cool. So I've been trying to keep myself organized here by basically having all of the rock-based stuff here for now, and then this is kind of the chest of all of the non-rock-based items. This chest in the corner, which will eventually move, is going to be valuables, and then growing things, food, and yeah, that's it. So back here, this is going to end up being our storage for now, and then like I said, I want to work on cutting around in the area. So I figured that's what we would do today, is just cut around this lava area and see where it goes. You guys will notice I got some diamonds off camera. I know that's something people typically tend to do on camera, but I've kind of found it, in my opinion, to be not like super important of a milestone, especially since we've done a lot of our firsts in the first season. So I figured just keep it simple. So my hope is that there's a little bit of a cavern or something on the other side of this that we can go ahead and find. Try and grab as much of that stuff as possible. Yeah, so today is Saturday, usually my recording day, and I'm pretty excited to be able to get some stuff recorded. We're actually not in the latest snapshot right now. I'm still using 19W45B. So by the next episode, I'll update to 46 once I read the change log and all that stuff. But I figured it wouldn't matter for what I'm doing here. So I did want to dig a little bit this way and see if there is anything major this way. See if I can't hear any. No, all I hear is lava. Okay. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to the updates. Mostly, honestly, not this update, but the next update is what I'm most excited about. Really excited to get new biomes. Really, really excited for the new Nether update. So I don't even want to touch the Nether until we get that new, the new Nether update, if I can, depending on how much that ends up, or how long that ends up being before we get that. but we'll see. Everything is kind of subjective in a way in regards to like how this playthrough starts to form. But for now, just getting this done, we're going to put glass all the way around. That'll be our main source of light in the middle here, and then we'll kind of form different things around it. And in the past, I've tried to do sort of like function in a way. So like, okay, what rooms do I want to have around this area? But this time around, I kind of want to go with more of a just building some rooms and decorating them and whatever. But this right here, this already looks pretty cool. I like it. And then we'll put glass all the way around here. And then, you know, open this area in here for basically make it more of like an atrium sort of thing. So let's get some more light in on this area. Okay, so we've got food. Let's go to sleep just in case. Yep, just as I imagined. I also really like that this recording software actually has a timer on it. Let me know how long I've been recording. So I wish, and maybe there is a way to pause it, but I really want to be able to pause the recording and then unpause. And I'll have to look if that's a feature, because one of the things I deal with in Stardew Valley is I could pause during some of the boring parts and know where I'm at, and then unpause it when it's done and still have the same, you know, recording. That would be the best, I think, for me. So, yeah, I want to get some trees and different things, and do a little bit of exploring in this episode. Yeah, there's my axe. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I have an axe somewhere. If we come up here, we've got dark oak over there, and that's kind of what I want to use. It's one of my favorite ones. We got some pine trees over there. Let's go on top of that hill. Give us a little better view. We don't have any animals yet. And I think the easiest thing to do would be to get a bunch of eggs and just put a chicken farm down below. Did I just hear a cat? Interesting. Alright, so let's see. We've got more Taiga there. And we've got the dark oak over here. So let's go get some dark oak trees. That will be best. Because what I want to do is I want to decorate some of the flooring or some of the walls with the dark oak. And I really like the color. We got to keep an eye over there because I saw a creeper. I also really want to get some saplings so we can have something closer, but not as needed. So, as far as building houses or building other things, I figure once we get a good stockpile of resources, then we can kind of figure out where we want to go from there. I want to watch some of the people that I've subscribed to quite a few people, and I want to watch some of their videos on some of the people that build, but also have Let's Plays, because What I don't like is watching some of the people that are in creative mode, created a creative world, and are making a Let's Play of the... Well, while we're here, we might as well make a little furnace. Get ourselves an iron axe. Oh, hey, bud. Anybody can create, like, a bunch of things in creative mode. Like, that's not the most difficult. Are you kidding me? It's not the most difficult thing to do. Once you figure out what you kind of want to build, and once you figure out what you want to, like, do and all of that, then it becomes fairly simple of just executing that. But in Minecraft, like survival mode, you also have to consider, like, a lot of different factors, like how hard is it for this material to be able to be gotten. So if you want to use prismarine, you have to, like, go out and gather it. Got a little nose whistle there. There, that should get rid of it. So yeah, like, I enjoy watching people that have survival mode, or are on survival mode rather, and they're playing the game, and just watching what their process is. One of the things that I've seen that is kind of underrated from a lot of people is people talk a lot about, like, planning out a city, and then they, like, do wool to, like, plan out the different districts and stuff. Something I've never really done, because I've never really built successfully a whole city. Like I was talking about towards the end of last season, one of the things that I really want to focus on this game is what did I call it? Like, keeping videos going and trying to finish projects. So when I get into a project, I want to be a little more critical than I have been in the past, of like, okay, what do I want this to look like? How do I want it to be? And how do I not create a big, huge list for myself that becomes overwhelming? So I think for me, what I really want to focus on is making certain that whatever we do... Thank you. How many more? We need 2 more saplings. 1 more sapling. Whatever we end up doing, as far as building-wise and resource-wise, ends up being... yes, there we go. Ends up being not so overwhelming for me. So taking it one step at a time. So... and breaking those up into steps. It's a good exercise. Because the other Let's Plays are kind of easy for me to do. But this, Minecraft has always been like the hardest Let's Play to do. Because I've got so many different ideas when I look at something. And, like, I'll show you guys an example of that. So we'll come up here, for instance. And... so we see we've got a lava flow here, so that looks pretty cool, like something I want to build there. We've got this river, which now this is disconnected, but obviously it meant to be connected up to here. We've got all these lakes, so like adding a little stream from this lake to this lake, for instance, that streams down into the river, and then trying to integrate the river into this town somehow, and then all of these forests really need a little bit of pine in my opinion. And then, like, well, what can we do with this little area? And calling this little area something. And there's definitely a cat around here, which means that there's usually a village, but I see no village. And then we have this river, which is probably a continuation of that river, but if it's not exclusively, like, showing that, then maybe we need to do something to show that. And then it looks like we got like a lake or an ocean almost over here. So maybe trying to connect something into there. And, building some cities and towns in between them. Oh, there's a village right there. So, once again, like, now we're talking about, okay, well, let's build the village here. We've got this abandoned village here. So how can we connect these two villages? You guys can see how this is, like, stacking up very quickly. And it looks really cool, and it will be really cool. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, now we got 50 things to do on our list. We don't even have a base. We don't even know what materials we're going to use. We don't even know what those things will look like. So it's like, oh my god, like, what do I need to do to get myself motivated enough to do that sort of thing? And, honestly, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Alright, I just had to do a little pause there because I needed chapstick. And I was looking to see if there was any way for me to pause the recording. It doesn't look like there is, but that's okay. Oh, we need more chests. Okay, so I don't know how far away we need to be from the lava for something to not catch fire. Are you kidding me? I hate it when it does that. So I want to try this. Let's see what happens. How fast will you burn? Let's see. Hasn't burned yet. Because I know that I want to try to make this area brown. One other thing I really kind of want to do that's not super popular right now. I don't necessarily want to go crazy on farms. As in, I don't necessarily want to be like, okay, we're going to have an automatic potato farm or semi-automatic potato farm. We're going to have an automatic this, automatic that, automatic this, unless we need large resources. Like, I'd like to have a little garden-y room. And when I go through, I can pick the potatoes for the food and kind of just leave it at that. Because food in this game isn't that hard to come by. And when we get chickens and all that stuff, it's going to be even less hard to come by. So I don't really see a huge need for doing something like that unless I've got the infrastructure to keep it all. And then I'm going to have so much food, there's no point in, like, yeah, like, unless I'm going to be making a potato block, which doesn't exist in the game, I don't see any reason why I should make, like, a huge automatic potato farm. So, like I said, unless I need the large amount of resources, like, to make a potato farm, like, aesthetically, then I'll probably be good. So this area is going to be the storage area, and basically the way we're going to do this is we're going to try and make sort of a dirt floor. A dirt floor. And then we'll just have these dark oak logs holding up the wall here. Just like that. And then we'll make shelving looking things, probably. I always like to leave a 3 here, because that leaves textures on this side, textures on that side, and then one area here with the doorway, so you can kind of make it a transition. Kind of just a little bit of a personal preference. So what I like to do when I'm planning a room is I like to play with the textures. So we'll put the dirt down here. And I don't want to mess too much with the internal area here. So by that I mean I want to try and keep the stone walls and just change the floor. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, my bad. No scary noises, please. And then what we can do is we can just easily push this back. Because if we sit here and play around with all the textures and making the walls, at least for right now, it may look nicer, but I don't think it's practical with like what, like for me, I would personally do in a room like this. Like, if I'm just gonna store a bunch of items in here, I'm not gonna, you know, like, probably store valuables closest to the door. Oh, we can get this guy out of here. Yeah. I think it's a good idea to store valuables closest to the door, because that's the thing that you're probably going to be accessing quite a bit. Eventually we'll move this to a little bit of a different system. In real life, I work in a warehouse, so I'm excited to apply my knowledge that I know in here to make this most efficient. So, like, for instance, a lot of people want to store all their items separated or alphabetically or something like that, and that's not going to make the most sense. So if we have a crafting bench, right, say here, and we want to use that, and most often we build, I don't know, a pickaxe, so it'd make most sense to have a chest full of sticks and diamonds. Why? Because if we're coming over here all the time, we don't want to go over here and get diamonds and then go all the way, let's say way back there, and get a stick and then come back and make that, right? We want to come here, grab our diamond, and actually if it's all in one chest, come here, grab the diamond and the stick, make our pickaxe here. So that to me makes the most sense. Let's get a screenshot. Beep. Okay. So now let's get some polished granite. The reason I went for granite, by the way, in this area is because I wanted to, just going to be a little bit lazy there. I wanted to have something that was different than just like gray, because I feel like that's what a lot of people use is gray. I think, yeah, I can block this off now. And we'll reopen an area. Where's my... I don't know. And I'll reopen an area to a new area to get to the outside. Okay. So we'll also make probably back there a new area for like actually getting outside. But right now this is fine right here. So again, don't want to get overwhelmed. The storage area here is going to be the most important piece. We've got our food. We're all prepped and ready to go. And then the next thing to build, that would be the best next thing, is just a hero room for ourselves. So that would just include like a... Really? I hate it when it does that. Stupid. Why would it be over here too? So like a room where we would store like trophies, where we can have all of our equipment, that would be close to both an exit up and an exit down or over would be best, I think. But, you know, guys, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. And in the next episode, we'll work on that hero room. And I think where I want to put it is somewhere over here. We'll have to move it again, but a small room that we can use. And that hasn't caught on fire over there. So, maybe we're on to something. Alright, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, happy mining and crafting.